أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Welcome to this live lecture, live streamed, alhamdulillah, and I hope that everything is okay with you on the technical side. And I want to thank on your behalf, my behalf, and all of us, Obaida, who is my assistant and giving me, following the whole thing and helping me in with the technicalities and also the questions. Let me start with this lecture with a few things that I wanted to say, and especially as we are talking about freedom and liberation, and the topic this year, with all the lectures that we had, is very much around us. And I have been talking about this topic over the last few lectures, and while we are talking about this, we know today, and we heard yesterday and today, what is happening in some countries. I have been repeating things that are happening in Africa, in Congo, and then in Central Africa, what is happening in Myanmar, with the Rohingyas, and the discrimination and extermination that they are facing today. This is unacceptable, and we have to be quite clear on this. While I'm talking now, and you know that I wrote this book about the Arab awakening, and I was very much supporting the people in the streets, while at the same time I was cautiously optimistic. I was not talking about the Arab Spring, I was not talking about revolutions. I thought that we were only looking at the political side of the equation and not the economic side. And what in fact was presented at the political spring in the Arab world ended up being an economic nightmare, with all these countries that are scattered, divided, and now under control. While at the same time, what is happening in Egypt, I was very critical towards the whole process with the Morsi regime, and I said that many mistakes were made, and things that have to be had to be reformed, and the whole process was not well managed, and I was critical about that. But at the same time, we can't, if we are Democrats, if we are clear with our values and we speak about freedom, accept what the new dictator there, who is worse than the people before him, who came after an internal military coup first within, and then a military coup the beginning of July, last July. I think that we have to be quite clear. We heard yesterday in Egypt that 529 people have been sentenced to death penalty. And just this is the first time in Egypt that something like this happening. It's maybe the first time in history that we are facing such an incredible, unbelievable, and unacceptable way of dealing with the judiciary. And we have now to condemn this, and to ask the international community, how come you are so vocal when it comes to Ukraine, and when it comes to even, saying that Russia was not respecting the constitution, and we have been so silent with the Egyptian army. Because in fact, at the end of the day, the perception is that we don't really care about human dignity and freedom and justice and constitution or constitutionality. We care much more about our interests, and I think that we should, and this is a moral duty to send a strong message to this dictator, Sisi, and all the army, the corrupt people that are running the country now, that this is unacceptable. And it's not only, by the way, targeting and stigmatizing the Muslim Brotherhood. It's all the opponents. Many people have been sentenced to death penalty while not being from the Muslim Brotherhood. They were resistant, and we were told, and we are told, that these people are sentenced in such a way because of the killing of one uh, uh, um, police man that was involved, and who was killed, and then we don't speak about the thousands now. Human Rights Watch was talking about more than few hundreds. It was we are reaching thousands of people who were killed, and then add to this more than 20 to 23,000, even more people in jail now after the coup. And we are talking about the democratic process, we are talking about spring, we are talking about the end of political Islam. As much as we can be, and we should be critical towards political Islam, we cannot be silent when something like this is happening. So this is to start with, and I know that some religious people, I don't know how they do that, how they read the scriptural sources, how they read the Quran, and how they read the hadith, the prophetic traditions, and how they read the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, just to be able to support the army from Saudi Arabia to the Emirates, and so many countries that are dealing in such a way with, betraying the very principles of Islam. Having said that, now let me come to our discussion here.